Hey everyone, it's John Williams here on the Carpet Cleaner Growth channel. This week we have got Kaya Rush of Nova Steam. I am super pumped, super excited to have Kaya on. I must have known him now since at least 2018, 2019. So we're talking 7, 8 years. Together, we've helped him grow, take his carpet cleaning business to the next level. He then sold it, exited it. The guy that bought it screwed it up, so he bought it back, and now he's taking it to the next level again. He's got an awesome story to tell. And if anybody knows about growing and scaling carpet cleaning businesses, it's Kaya. So this is going to be super value. I'm sure there's going to be lots of great value bombs, tons of advice in this. It's not to be missed. So strap yourself in and let's roll. Welcome to the show, Kaya. Super pumped to have you here. Let's get started at the very beginning. And what actually made you want to start your own carpet cleaning business? And were you in a different industry before? Like, what were you doing? What's the kind of origin story, man? Tell me all about it.
So I have been carpet cleaning for many years now, kind of off and on since I was 15. I started cleaning schools and restaurants, like old school. It was all bonnet, and I remember having huge stacks of bonnets that were dirty, and I just oh man, it was grueling, And I started off young. I needed a job, and did that for many years. I met my wife, who lived in a city about 2.5 hours from me, and I just kind of needed a fresh start. So
Yeah.
I moved in with her after we had met and got together,
What,
and for a franchise.
what year is this? What year did all this happen? Tell me.
Oh man, this is like 2015, 16 ish.
Cool.
When I moved, and then when I moved, I tried a couple of different jobs, and overall hated working for people. Not working for people, but working for other people. Having other people kind of dictate my day to day, and people that I always same with school and college. I always question the curriculum kind of thing, and it just never worked out for me. And so I worked for a franchise for a little bit and actually built a large franchise, or assisted building a large franchise here in town, who is now my competitor. And I just realized I needed to do my own thing. I had all the information I needed. I had all the experience I needed. I saw the day-to-day operations, the marketing strategies, and I needed to go off on my own. When I moved, I didn't have a whole lot of money. I grew up really poor, and I kind of lived paycheck to paycheck for a really long time. And it wasn't for a lack of money management. It was just, it's hard to grow and build your life on minimum wage, and it's hard to grow and build your life with nothing. And I was like, telling my wife, I was just like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go build my own thing. And she was very supportive. She's been my rock. She's been solid and helped me through thick and thin, every up and down that I've ever had.
Wow.
Bless her for that. And I did. I went and I financed a brand new van, and everyone's like, don't finance, buy a crappy van and just get started. No way, man. I was like, I don't want any problems, any hiccups. I want to hit the ground running. I want it to be, mechanical failures and equipment failures was the last thing that I wanted to deal with. I didn't want to be struggling financially and then have my van go down. And then I'm
Yeah.
really, what am I going to do now? And
Yeah.
so, I started an LLC. And that's when I began my search for finding the best marketing team that I could find, because if you're not getting your name out there and people don't know who you are, it's over, especially at the start. And so, just like anybody else, I started with friends and family. Hey, I'll come clean your carpet. If I do a great job, leave me a review. Reviews were paramount. Especially a new company. I didn't want to be the guy that has like one or two reviews. I was like, I need to have, 50 reviews in the next month. And for most carpet cleaners, they're like, 50 reviews in a month, and it's just simple. You just ask people. You just ask people, and you just ask them to be honest. And so what I did was I just cleaned the carpet, and I just said, hey, my family lives and dies by these reviews. Could you please just leave me a review? Be honest. Friends and family too. I didn't clean for anyone, and I still don't. I don't clean for anyone and beg them for a review. I just say, hey, my family lives and dies, which is kind of begging in a way, actually. My family lives and dies by these reviews. If you can, please take a moment, leave me a review. I would greatly appreciate it. And now overall, overall. We have over 1,000 reviews between Facebook and Google. I don't even count Yelp. Yelp is like Yelp is extortion for businesses. I wouldn't ever use Yelp for anything on the planet. So they don't count. And I just hit the ground running, man. And I just tried really hard to get my name out there with friends and family, of course. That's the easiest networking you can do.
Yeah.
I went into a BNI group and started my search for a Facebook marketing person. And that's when you and I had linked up, and I had spoke to, oh man, at least 6 different marketing people at that point who promised the
Mhm.
world, of course, I can do this, I can do that. And I'm like, hey, look, I have no doubt you can run my ads, but I need to have more or less a relationship with this person because need to be on the same page as me. You can really directly affect my life and my business in a positive and absolutely a negative way.
Absolutely.
And so after we had spoke, I think we spoke, yeah, you and I spoke maybe 2 or 3 times. And at that point, I didn't even think about these other people. I was like, John is my guy. Like, he's awesome. His price is great. Very aggressive pricing. And you didn't promise me anything. You were just like, I'm going to do my best. And, and just be a good person. And you truly cared, and you still do truly care about me and my business as I care for yours. And we've
Absolutely.
developed a great friendship over the last like 8, 9 years.
Yeah.
And, back to when you said I sold my business, when I sold my business, and, I didn't sell my business because it wasn't doing well or anything like that. And then I'm going to come back to this later on. But when I sold my
Mm.
business, it was because my wife and I wanted to leave the state for just, some personal reasons and political reasons.
Yeah.
And when we did, I told my marketing guy, do not fire John. He is the only thing, like if you don't know what you're doing, he's the only one that's going to help you succeed at this point. Because my training period for the new owner was short, 2 months.
Yeah.
But he took my techs. They knew everything. One of them was my lead tech is my best friend still. And
Yeah.
he fired you, and it just went all downhill after that. And he made no money. He thought I
Yeah.
just sat on the couch in my underwear watching cartoons, eating Cheerios, and realized that the jobs don't just come in. It's not just all sunshine and rainbows. You got to work this thing. And so,
Absolutely.
long story short, I came back. Yeah, I came back, bought my business back for 1/4 of what I sold it for because he had no sales to support the sale of the business. It was just an asset purchase at that point. So
Mm.
I immediately called you, said, John, help.
There we
And what's
go.
crazy is month one, we went right back to where we were in 1 month.
There you go.
I mean, it was incredible. I had no doubt. I had no doubt it was going to work. And I just was like, oh, how long until it works? Is it going to be 2 or 3 months? And nope, month one, just right back where it was. And here we are. So.
Absolutely, absolutely, and it's an absolute pleasure to be a part of your journey. Long may it continue, and it's been amazing. And you're one of the great people to work with, and honestly, an honor and a pleasure. So moving on then to kind of like the next sort of batch of questions. I feel like this sort of first batch of questions, I think we kind of covered everything in that first little conversation there. One of the things that I want to ask you is every carpet cleaner we've ever worked with ever, and we've worked with a lot, every single person that I've ever worked with has got at least one crazy story about a carpet cleaning job that they've done.
Oh,
What is
yeah.
yours?
So it's funny. I was just right before this. I was just talking with my buddy about that. I haven't. I'm really good at de-escalating any type of situation. Verbal judo is something that is very important to me. So I've never had anybody like actually get crazy with me. I have absolutely seen just crazy things. I mean, we've anticipated that I've gone into of close to 50,000 homes or more over the years. And so I've seen everything. I have seen everything. My most memorable things are always, for lack of a better term, adult novelty items. I see them quite often. I see them quite often, and they're always like suction cupped in a shower. And so other than seeing crazy things, I don't have any crazy stories. I've never had a job like explode on me. I've never had a van catch on fire and burn the house down. I've never had anything really dramatic happen other than like maybe a miscommunication that resulted in a reservice or something simple. And it all stems from having excellent communication, really focusing on the customer's wants and needs, and mitigating your risk. If you mitigate your risk, very unlikely something is going to happen. And it's all common sense. It's all just looking forward and having a process as well. If you have a bulletproof process and you do the same thing every single time, the odds of something going awry is very, very low.
Absolutely. What would you say is the biggest mistake that you made early on in your career that you see a lot of other carpet cleaners making today?
This sort of a multifaceted question for me because there's so many aspects to not just a business, this type of business, and I see mistakes every day on the forums. And it's hard for me to call them mistakes because some things may just work for other people that may not work for me, or their views and their ethics are different than mine. So one thing, or desperation as well. I see desperation is huge. I
Right.
think $99 guy is making a massive mistake, not only for himself, his business, and his finances, but for the industry. I think it hurts the industry quite a bit. It's hard work. It's hard work physically, mentally, and emotionally. You can experience burnout very easily in this industry as an owner operator. And I'm speaking from personal experience, who has worked 7 days a week for many years. And now I still work 6 days a week. So the main thing is don't underpricing yourself, which is something that I did not do from the start. I was like, hey, I know I'm a good tech. I know the business. I know my skills and my quality is there. There's no way I'm doing anything for $99. This van is not starting for $99. No, it's just not going to happen. So that is a huge mistake that should absolutely be avoided. Referrals only. Oh, I've been doing this for years. I got so many referrals. I don't need to. Hey, look, I have 6,000 repeat customers. Trust me. Like the referrals are great. It's the cherry on the icing on the cake. It's the cherry. It's not the icing and it's not the cake. Okay. I totally understand you like your referrals. You have a relationship with these people. You've cleaned their house multiple times. That's totally great. I love that. That's beautiful. I love it. But you cannot rely on that alone. You are shooting yourself in the foot. And I see a lot of guys or gals, whoever, that are comfortable where I'm at. It's over. It's over for you. Like you're going to make what you make for the rest of your life, and you're going to have a broken body, and you're going to look back with your wife and say, I should have did this and this and this. And I am avoiding that like the plague. I have put in the work. I have broke my body, and I'm an athlete. I'm in great shape. I can't imagine not being in shape and doing this for the rest of your life. No, I just can't. So those are a few points that I think about daily. I think about those things daily. I'm sure there's many mistakes, but those are my three. Work out, take care of yourself. Don't get comfortable because you need to scale this thing to where you can step away from the business and let it go. And I know that's hard. That is the hardest thing for me, is letting it go. And don't underprice yourself because you're like, yeah, I have so many jobs, because it's because you're getting the bottom of the barrel. Like everyone goes to McDonald's because it's cheap, but you know what you get when you go to McDonald's. Like
Absolutely.
it's mind blowing. So
Yeah, absolutely.
those are
Absolutely. That's amazing advice, man. This is shaping up to be a great video straight away. So the next question then, which is, I think, a great next question, moving on from that, let's talk a little bit about your experience in a little bit more detail of working with us and the impact of having that predictable level of jobs and income and leads coming in, and not having to worry about that side of the business, so that you can focus on working on the business, not in it, and the impact that Carpet Beast AI has had for you guys. Let's touch on that a little bit more.
Yeah, so even when I started with you and it was AGB, Ads Grow Business, it was a very similar platform for us, and it created a lot of predictability for the set amount of money that we were expensing toward this direct form of marketing with you. The predictability was we didn't have big highs, big lows. I mean, of course there's fluctuation. Of course there's people that are going to chat with you and then just ghost you, but the amount of jobs booked monthly has been, I mean, almost freakishly consistent to the point to where if you can, there's just the process of duplication. If you're like, hey, I have one van from the singular campaign, I have one van that is completely booked, making $20,000 to $30,000 a month, which is the one campaign. Get with you, duplicate that. You have two vans doing the same thing, and three vans, and four vans, five, like, and you just do the same thing. So the predictability was great, from the start. I remember right when we pulled the trigger,
Mm.
years ago, I was laying in bed and you pulled the trigger, you press start at 9 p.m. I remember it was like 9 p.m. and I think I had two or three jobs come through almost right away, and I woke up to, I think it was like 15 or 17 jobs that I had to
Wow.
book, which, booked out my week almost immediately. And I was like, my God, I was so excited. And it was just great. The consistency has been great. The predictability is huge. As for like the AI system, I have had my personal ups and downs with it. I like to personally connect with people, but obviously by doing that, that is taking up my time. And
Mm.
so it was nice to have, for lack of a better term, somebody that is not me communicating with these people and taking over the booking process. So I can essentially work on other things. And then all I have to worry about is, kind of just managing the schedule, making sure my texts are good, bringing them Gatorade, bringing them a sandwich, making sure the day, I love to stop in at jobs and, hey, I love my customers. I like to hang out with my customers, chat with my customers while my guys are cleaning, to maintain those relationships. And I've been able to put more time into that because I don't have to sit here all day texting. I mean, I do still talk to people, I do still answer a phone, but I mean, it's taken hours out of my day,
Absolutely.
and just and freed up all that time for management.
Absolutely. That's incredible. Right. We're almost at the end now. So what does the future look like for yourself and Nova Steam? Are we talking trying to add more vans? You're trying to step out of the field? What's the future look like?
As of right now, I just hired another guy to completely remove me from the field altogether.
Amazing.
He is a lead technician and manager for a franchise here, and he was tired of the culture. Just
Right.
tired of it's like McDonald's. He was tired of McDonald's, let's put it that way. And so when he met me, I remember this, so this will stick with me too. I almost thought he was going to cry at first because we just had a great conversation about just life, and where he's
Mm.
going. And he chose this career. And it seemed like this franchise almost put him, I'm trying to think of the term, like it just brought him down, and made him kind of feel like this is like a dead end industry, even for a technician, somebody who's not going to be a business owner. He has no desire to run his own business, and no
Mm.
raises and bonuses sucked and you have to upsell or you're not going to get paid. And I was like, buddy, I'm going to pay you a handsome hourly wage. Let's look at it like this. Your upsell pays your wage, and he has a really great upsell percentage. I don't even like using the term upsell, but just for lack of a better term,
Mm.
I'm going to use it. There's add-on sales that are ethical. You don't have to be
Absolutely.
an unethical salesperson. You do, and that's what they push. That's the culture that they push. Just sell, 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 like when you walk in the house, you're looking at everything, trying to sell them a couch cleaning, trying to sell them this, I do everything. At this point now, I'm trying to create a divisional company and he's going to help me get there.
Amazing.
So, without getting off track too much, we offer everything at this point, from roof cleaning to gutter cleaning to window cleaning, house washing, carpet cleaning, air duct cleaning, you name it. And so at this point, I have to create a divisional company. And with this divisional company, I have to have an inside team, which is my carpet, air ducts, furniture, tile and grout, you name it. And then my outside team, roof cleaners, gutter cleaners, window cleaners, house cleaners, like house washing. And so he was the final piece to my puzzle to pull me out of the field so I can then have a heavy focus on sales. And when we were talking, like I said, this franchise just beat him down. And
Right.
I'm going to start him, with a great hourly wage, which he doesn't get an hourly wage. He gets paid on his upsell. And I just don't get that, you know? Like I get sales are important, but quality is the most important. Like if you go into a house and you just sell, 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 and you still do a bad job, one, they're never going to call you back. Two, that person has a bad taste in their mouth. It's like, you know, it's why
Sure.
used car salesmen have that bad rap. You know, it's
Absolutely.
because we've all had a bad sales experience. And I don't sell, this is my thing. My upsell percentage, if I had to, you know, put it in terms like that, but my sales percentage is beyond 50 because all I do is I have a flyer, you know, or it's like a postcard, you know, it's like a
Mm.
I don't know, it's like a 5 by 8 postcard or something like that. It has and it just says our services and it has a list of all of our services in little squares and it's very great looking. And on the back
Mm.
side, it's nothing but a logo. And then I have another postcard that has two specials on it, an air duct cleaning special because those are our highest tickets, and a
Mm-hmm.
house washing special. Yet again, another large ticket. So every time I go in there and I do a great job and I schmooze the customer and they love me and they love the job, I just say, hey, Mr. Customer, I'm going to leave a couple of cards with you. If you ever need me in the future, let me know. So great to meet you. Don't forget about that review. And when I hand them that card, I'm not
Yep.
joking. It's like 90% of the time they'll look at it. You'll be talking to them and they'll be looking down at that, reading it, not even listening to you. And they'll be like, you do air duct cleaning before you go. How much is it to do? And then boom. Can I get it scheduled right now? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Every single time. And so I can focus on those type of sales. I can focus on doing that with my customer. Once I am out of the field, I have multiple vans now. I'm getting my employees set. And that was the hardest part for me over the years is letting it go and trusting people to go in and do the job that I would normally do to my quality standard and things like that. That is a huge deal for many owner operators, especially myself. I am all about quality and it's tough to let go. And yeah, so that's my next step is focus on you know, maybe two more vans and that will put my competitor who's a franchise in a bad spot and I can potentially dominate my market of almost 500,000 people at that point with a couple more vans and essentially be a force to be reckoned with here in town.
Amazing.
So, and of
Amazing.
course you've helped me along the way. Yeah, me along the way, you know, and that's
Said, yeah, and it's been an absolute pleasure as well to be part of your journey. 100%. It's been amazing.
yeah. I mean, and I'm so grateful, man. You know, you have not just been a great friend and, you know, a mentor in many ways,
Mm.
but you know, I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful because you have put so much time and effort into me and my business and really set the tone for my future. And I I'm at a loss for words in many ways, and I'm very grateful, and I thank you. I thank you every day. Man, I tell so many people about you, and it's so funny that people come, you know, they'll get on, you know, let's say truck mount forums or something like that. And you'll always see me on there, and I'm like, you
Yeah.
guys, I have the guy. Like, stop, just stop looking. I have the guy, you know. So
Absolutely.
it's been a great journey with you. And once I get a couple more vans, and it's a divisional company, I want to have a heavy focus on consulting other cleaners and showing other not just cleaners, but I've helped many cleaners over the years and businesses that aren't even like mine. But I want to be a full-time business consultant, and I just want to help other people and help guide them and help create. I'm really good at creating systems, really good at creating material when it comes to sales material, sales systems, just day-to-day implementation of these systems. And that has been a huge crutch for a lot of service business owners is it's all up here and they never put it in a book or something where, like, let's say I die. What happens if I die? My
Yeah, it's a
wife
good
gets
one.
this business that she doesn't know what to do with. Or would you rather your wife can open up a book and give it to a manager and say, this is Kaya's brain, make it work, you know? And so that's huge for me. So that's what I would like to do is consult and help and assist other businesses. And I don't want to be an online coach and stuff like that. I actually want to fly out or drive out to these businesses, audit these businesses, find out where their problems are, find out where they can grow and help them in person. And I'm not charging $5,000 and you get my coaching program. No way, man. I'm showing up and I'm going to show you how to do it. And I'm going to be right there with you, holding hands if we have to. We're getting it done. So that's what I want to do.
So, guys, if you're watching this and you want Kaya to help you in your carpet cleaning business, then look him up. You'll find him on Facebook, Kaya Rush, Nova Steam. You'll find him, no worries. I've got no doubt. Before we finish up, Kaya, this is the very, very, very last thing today that I want to talk about, that I want to ask you about. Outside of all the incredible value bombs that you've dropped in this interview, outside of working with me or Carpet Boost AI, outside of all of that stuff, what is the one final actionable piece of advice that you would give other carpet cleaning business owners that are watching this video?
The question of all questions at the end. Let's see. I'm trying to think of what I would tell myself. My thing is I'm trying to think of what I would tell myself at the beginning. If I knew nothing about nothing and I'm like, hey, I want to start this business. And then I'm trying to think of what I would tell myself right now where I'm at. I'm no multimillionaire by any means, but I have a good foothold and I have a good idea of what's going on. I would just keep it simple, man. No matter if this is your dream, whether it's just to own a business or a carpet cleaning business or any type of business, any industry, never give up on yourself. I don't care how high you are or how low you are. And take it from me, my highest high or my lowest low got me to my highest high. Just do not give up. Focus on quality with every single thing that you do. I don't care if you're a carpet cleaner or you have a restaurant or you build bridges. Just be as perfect as you can humanly be and take care of your customers like they're your friends, your family. Act like you're cleaning for your mom and you have to do the best job in the world every single time. And once you scale, you pass that knowledge on to another guy and another guy and another guy and enforce that quality and that standard. And I guarantee that you will be fine. I guarantee it. You'll have the referral base that you want. You'll have all the repeat calls that you want, and they're going to tell all their friends and all their family, and there's your little referral base that you can rely on. And you need to market aggressively. You need to market through multiple avenues. You cannot stick to just one thing. The saying, "Don't have all your eggs in one basket." Well, imagine only having one egg in one basket, and you drop that basket. I'd rather have multiple baskets, multiple eggs, and that's where you come in, John. Is you have provided several avenues of marketing that have been very aggressive and very positive. And with that, the referrals are there and my repeat customers are there. And you can build this spider web of just money, essentially.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you, Kaya, so much for your time. And if you've enjoyed this video and you're watching it, hit the like, subscribe button, all that good stuff, so that you get notified when the next one comes out. This has probably been one of my favorite interviews I've ever done. It is full of amazing advice. So thank you so much. And everybody else, I'll see you on the next video.